Good afternoon, everyone. Again, I'm Ilkay. I'm Regional Director for the Caucasus as Strategist. It's really an honor for me to be here, to be MC of this stage for maybe 1 hour and more. Welcome to the next session of our Science Forum. This is Shaping the World with AI. And I'm sure you had a wonderful day yesterday and the first part of the second day. So good networking, maybe panel discussions also, and I'm sure you enjoyed with keynote speeches also. So the weather is not on our side those 2 days, but we have very good atmosphere in this hotel. And I just want to tell my story when I was first in Baku. And I hope you enjoyed with this beautiful town. So when I was first in Baku, I decided to come to this flame towers and take a picture because it's one of the sightseeings and put this picture on my Instagram. So it was Formula One time. The traffic was terrible. It was already late evening, and I jumped out of the taxi and walked to this hill. And you know, it's not near boulevard, it's kind of like uphill. I was tired, it was late. I put lipstick on my lips, was ready for the picture, handed my phone to my friend, and oops, suddenly the lights were turned off. And behind me only was like tall, dark building and nothing more. I was not lucky by the time, but I'm very lucky because I'm here today at this hotel. And I'm lucky also to announce great speakers before startup pitching. And I want to announce the first speaker, and the first speaker is currently the early stage startup lead at Google in London. While pursuing her master in international relations and intelligence at Harvard University, she focused on emerging markets and the ways innovation can harness for good. Prior to Google, she gained experience with organizations including Amazon and Dell Technologies. And now she leads in the Google Cloud ecosystem. Please join me in welcoming Cliona Jordan. Stage is yours.
Hello, everyone. It is an honor and a privilege to be with you all here today. I have some slides, but they're not in this long form. So hopefully, do we have them? Dun, da, da, da. Brilliant. Amazing. Thank you so much for the introduction and also for having me. It is an honor and a privilege, as I mentioned. So I'm going to be bringing us through a little bit of my learnings from both the practical side of what I do in my day-to-day job, that's working in Google Cloud, and then also bringing in some of my learnings from Harvard. Now, I really wanted to bring this lens in for the founders, so this talk is very much founder focused, and I'm going to be leaning in on mastering local, but then thinking in a global mindset. And I have 3 pillars to do that. So there we go. So one is going to be on positioning. Then we're going to lean into my kind of theoretical or academic side of the house, which is going into intelligence. So that's going to look into the data collection you're doing, both internally and externally. And then finally, we couldn't have a talk in tech without mentioning the one and only AI. So I'm going to be going into a little bit about how you can practically apply some of the AI applications that we're seeing today. So a quick note about me. As I mentioned, I'm a startup lead in Google Cloud. What does that mean? I work with a portfolio of around 500 companies from pre-seed to Series A, building out their tech stack. I work right beside an engineer. So that's understanding everything from their initial infrastructure. So how many GPUs they need, what GPUs they need, TPUs, etc., all the way up to their models. Then on the theoretical side, I've gone back to study. Those who know me and those who have conversations with me will know that I am passionate and a champion for the emerging markets. Started off in Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa, specifically in East Africa, but now finding a lot of love for Central Asia that I'm very excited to explore with you today. And before I get started, I do just want to thank you all, both the team in Strat and Anatoly, for creating this incredible event. I really do thank you, and thank you so much for the invite. I'm honoured. But then also for the people of Baku, Azerbaijan. It's just been the most incredible experience and really made me feel at home. So, speaking of home, where am I from? I'm from this really small island of Ireland. Ireland has experienced exponential growth over the past 40 to 50 years. So, Rika mentioned Luxembourg. Luxembourg is just one ahead of us in terms of the richest country in Europe. But we didn't start off like that. So, in 1959, we were in extreme economic depression, really high unemployment rates, and there was a plethora of reasons how we were able to obtain that exponential growth. One of those being how we were positioned, one locally, then regionally within Europe, but then on the global scale as well. So you'll see companies like Google, who I'm working for, that's how I started off my career, Amazon, Dell, all coming into Ireland, and that's how we strategically positioned ourselves. And that's what I want to touch in on today. So in terms of the positioning and what I want to talk about is really mastering local. So getting after the Azerbaijan market, becoming the market leader there, then exploring this incredible new opportunity of your regional market. So the ability to tap into this incredible customer base of young, accelerated digital native customers that you'll be able to go after if you are creating a tech startup that I know markets like mine, say in the UK, would only die for. And then looking at it from a global perspective. And what I really want to hone in on here, especially for founders in the audience, is we're not playing catch up to a global market and we're not trying to go down from a top-down approach. It's really looking at, if you're looking at a global market, looking at it as you would a customer, I'm really trying to hit the pain point and then be able to accelerate from there. So I want to put a question to the audience. Hopefully we'll have a mic going about, but I wanted to ask for any Azerbaijanis in the room, any founders, what is it that you feel is your USP, so your unique selling point as a startup? Do we have any brave people? We have this thing in Google where if we don't get any volunteers, you get voluntold. So I'll be picking someone out from the audience, but if we have anybody? Yes, exactly. One more in the back. Oh, here we go, a microphone, perfect.
I'm Shafiq, founder of Invenex, a wealth management and investment platform. And our unique selling point is our proprietary market making technology that provides liquidity in private markets such as real estate or funds.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. I didn't have that exact one down, but I'll definitely include it in the next one. So I did get one of those points. So one, I want to focus on your incredible human capital, right? If you're just looking at 3 of these data points, we're going to go in your median age, as I mentioned, a population that is extremely adaptive to digital, to change, digital natives, etc. Your population, this is incredible to have a 10.5 million population, using that as your lab, using that effectively to kind of test your product, scale your product, iterate, etc. And then, as one of my good friends mentioned, you have the 4 languages, right? So that complexity in the linguistic side of things, that goes really nicely into what I think your cultural superpower is. So looking in from an external POV, I'm going in mainly on the bicultural fluency, including linguistic, but also understanding the business acumen of both the West and the East and being able to be a middle point in that. My favourite point, and it's something that I think reminds me of home in Ireland when I come here, is your hospitality. It's just been the most incredible, hospitable environment to come into, so kind. And I think if you take that in your personal life and apply that into your businesses, especially with a point of view from a customer excellence and customer care, that's really going to be a point of differentiation. And then finally, the bit that I love about working with emerging markets is the resiliency. So seeing yourselves, if you're coming up with a problem, you can just go straight through it instead of, I know, say, founders that have been in the game for quite a while, and there may not be that same level of resiliency. So going now on to the regional opportunity. So doing a breakdown of the different countries within a potential regional market that you can go after. 155 million, and not to mention 100 million of those are under the age of 35. So if you are building out a tech solution like the ones I would advise on, your market potential is absolutely huge because you'll be able to go after those customers that are digital native and are able to really make use of your product and understand it. So this youth advantage is a huge advantage to play on. A quick summary of this is, so why is the regional market a perfect position for you to play. Again, you have the linguistic proximity, cultural affinity. You also have the regulatory alignment across the board. Then payment integration with a lot of the fintech infrastructure that we're seeing. I've seen a lot of fintech startups. So that's only going to be evolving in terms of making this regional play a lot easier. The talent mobility, which is a huge point, and I'll come back to that. And then one of my favorite points, especially when we're talking about a go-to-market and scaling out your go-to-market, is the ability to lower your customer acquisition costs. So that's going to make a difference to the P&L and really be able to do shared media, breaking down the sales funnel and making really personalized messaging that's going to really be able to close a sale for your product. Now, on the last point of that circle, on the global sale of things, we're looking at mainly 5 different things, because I think the 6th point really encapsulates both of the 5 points. So on the first one, being a geographic strategic value. So if you are thinking of an exit and you've really maximized and capitalized on your local position, you're now a regional leader, you are going to be primed for one of the multinationals to come in if they are looking to do a market expansion, which I'm sure they will be, because hello, why wouldn't you? Especially here. I've gotten so much energy from it. So I'm loving it, and I'll definitely be telling more people about it. So you're the gateway for there. Then looking at cost efficiency versus quality. So 60 to 70% lower development costs compared to if you're looking at dev in the Valley or in London, say where I'm working now. Untapped market expertise. So again, understanding the duality of the Western and the Eastern market. And then even on the softer side of that, so understanding the business acumen that can really make a difference when you're going in to the sales and closing side of things. Multilingual, multicultural teams and a proven resilience. And again, to summarize all of those, that would give a really strong playbook into emerging markets. So to summarize, and I don't know if this is oversimplifying it, but I would nearly look at this as having your 10-year plan and working backwards. So if I was advising, it would nearly be like a pre-seed is going into your local community, or local credibility, apologies, mastering this market first, getting your testimonials, speaking to customers, changing your product and making sure you get the right product market fit. Then at your seed, I'd be going into your expansion plan. So proving that you can scale is really important for the next trajectory of your growth. And I think if you have the market advantages that you would have being in a regional place, like I mentioned, across Turkey, Central Asia, etc. And then basically you can go into either an exit, Series A, Series B, and continued on. So next up is pulling a little bit on my experience from Harvard. So it's very theoretical, but what I love doing is basically pulling in what I need to do every 2 weeks, which is effectively an intelligence evaluation, where we pull in a lot of different data on different geopolitical problems, things that are going on, and try to get as objective as possible. And then we apply that to a report. So that's what I like putting in, especially looking at a commercial standpoint, because when we go more commercial, the more subjectivity comes in. So the more objective we can be, the better. And the framework is so. So we're looking at our environmental scanning, a threat assessment, opportunity identification, resource mapping, and predictive analysis. Now, this is all fine whenever you're talking about it from a geopolitical standpoint, but if we reverse engineer it and go through it from a commercial standpoint, we're looking at similar things that we'd be looking at in a business plan, right? What's happening in the market, gathering all of the data, and again, being as objective as possible. Then going into your threat assessment, what is the biggest threats, i.e. your competitors, and being really honest with yourself in terms of where your competitors are locally, regionally, and globally. Your opportunity identification, where is that white space? The more data you collect in step 1 and 2, the more you'll be able to better identify that white space. And then finally, on your resource mapping and using that, so seeing where you're missing the gaps. And so on your last bit is the predictive analysis. Where is the market going and where do we want to be where that market is going? I have 2 bits of data here. This is probably the most boring slide, but I think it could be really valuable on a practical standpoint. So I'm sure you've all heard of PitchBook, Dealroom, Crunchbase. If I was in your position now and looking at attracting into a global market, I would be looking at what has been built already. So if I was going to do a data pull on a website, Blueverse is my favorite because that's what I use for my market. But you can get such intricate details and data points of when they raised, how much they raised, what they raised for, how many they've employed, etc., etc. And if you can find a business or even a group of businesses that are very similar to yours, you can nearly reverse engineer what they've done, reach out to founders. You can be really practical with the external information that you're gathering, and then kind of tracking it through these main bits. Okay. Internal intelligence. This is my favorite bit. I also think it's the easiest bit to say and the hardest bit to do. So this is all about talking to your customers and really going out and putting something in front of them, most likely failing, and that's okay. And reiterating. So getting your hands dirty and allowing them to truly understand what is the core issue. So my favorite case study of this is from Airbnb back in 2009, when they realized that bookings were scaling down and they wanted to find out what was happening, right? So in this particular example, I want you to think of the scalability of this issue. So it's a huge problem. Bookings are going down, but the two founders of Airbnb had a very innovative way of going out, very practical way. They literally went door to door of both the customers and the Airbnb hosts, and they were asking all of the different questions and really finding the root cause of the problem. And that's what I want us to really focus on. So they discovered that the picture quality was so bad on these ads. So obviously back in 2009, we didn't have the latest iPhone coming out. Maybe there wasn't great lighting, wasn't great kind of photography courses, I'm not too sure. But they found out that this poor quality of photos was decreasing trust, and therefore it was taking away from bookings. What they did, they hired a team of professional photographers, got the pictures up, and they scaled from there. Now, important thing to remember here, is that scalable what they've done, going in, taking pictures, hiring a photography team? No, but they were able to hit the nail on the head in terms of a customer problem and innovate from there. So I think people go at innovation at a funny way sometimes, where it's kind of this blanket, right? We're going to be really innovative. But if we draw it back, let's hit the core problem first and innovate from there. That's where you're going to be able to get your scale from. Some other ones, this is again, just if you're taking this deck very practically, it's competitor analysis, investor trends, global benchmarking, pricing strategies. How is your competitor pricing, whether it's locally, regionally, or globally? And then finally, looking at the unit economics, which is my favorite part of the puzzle. This is also just a quick note on, if you are going to go and do all of this intelligence as a founder, please make sure that you're putting it all in a data room so that you have it in order to reference. If you are really serious about going after funding, having a clean, pristine data room is absolutely vital. So this is what I've seen included in them, making sure that all your signals are really going to show what your investors are looking for, and going from there. So next point, AI application, woohoo, our favorite part. So this is more of like my framework that I use in Google. So it's all about the process that we look at. So I'm looking at the input. So we heard before in the morning, and I'm sure you've all heard this before, but garbage in, garbage out. So making sure that you're taking all of that intelligence that you collected on the external and on the internal side of things, and making sure that you have set up frameworks, etc. I'll go into this now. Frameworks, etc. for the input. Then we're going into the process, which is my favorite bit, which is what I do a lot with the startups that I work with, which is going into the AI. We use Vertex for kind of B2B offering in Google. I'm sure there's many other ones, and building out the frameworks of what an agent would look like. Then going into the output and repeatability, and it's basically just keeping that wheel turning constantly. So on part one, as I mentioned, it's putting in your external and internal intelligence that you've collected. One thing I'll mention here is that this should be dynamic. Your input should constantly be putting in data into the system. And that's where you would have this set up in the configuration of your AI agent. So we have a few different ones when we talk about AI agents, right? And they're the it thing to talk about. So that's why I wanted to include it. From my standpoint, if I'm looking at an agent, there's kind of two ways I'd look at it. You can have your B2C agent. So that's, say, you or I would go into Gemini is the one I use, but I've heard about this other tool called ChatGPT. And you can make projects or gems. And that's like, okay, I want something that's going to write a LinkedIn post for me every week, right? I don't know if you could, maybe that's an agent. I don't know if I would call that an agent, but you can go into Vertex AI, which is kind of like our AI console within our cloud. And I'm sure there's like Bedrock, I think, from AWS. And we have these frameworks that are built. So you have these agentic frameworks that are built out by Google DeepMind, and you can go in and say there's like a video editor, there's a CFO, a CTO, and you can start deploying these across your business. So bringing AI at scale to all of the humans within your business. And making it really, really practical, which is the point that I really want to hit home. 2 things to mention here is making sure that your connectors are connected, and wherever you have your data within your business, whether that's on Gmail, email, Drive, Salesforce, etc., making sure that those connectors are connecting so you're able to get that dynamic ingestion. Step 3 is the output. I think there's like 5 main things I come back to on this. 4 mainly. Where is this? Is it relevant? Is it practical? Is it contextual, and is it measurable? And always doing a review of that. And then finally, is it risk aware? So that's more if you want it for that kind of consulting or guidance into identifying potential failures. Now, on the last bit of repeatability, this is something that I always view AI as a dual degree, especially within business, right? Like I think there's the commercial acumen and the building that you need to do, and that really should be 80% of your work. The duality in the degree comes from the looking back and making sure that what you're building, both externally and internally for yourselves as a business, is going towards the vision that you want to go to. So coming back and just asking a few questions here. So if you're creating specialized agents, what are the frameworks that they have? Feeding the data consistently, that's what I keep harping on about, and it's really important if you actually want to leverage it for a real use case. Doing a review of that cadence, and then also building out your feedback loops. So folks, I think I'm well over time. I'm glad I didn't have a timer in front of me, but I'm definitely well over time. A few takeaways that I wanted to mention. One is, if you are a founder here, just please, please, please lean into who you are and what you are building. It has just been so incredible to see the energy from Baku and all the founders. So I'm really excited to see the pitches that are coming up and lean into that market potential as well in terms of who you're building for, and really gauge the excitement there. Second one is get your data from your customers. Go out, see if they like it. If they don't like it, change it. One thing that keeps coming up, and it's so prevalent, is just fail fast, learn fast, reiterate, and just go. There's nothing like the present. But I think the only thing that will hold you back in that middle point is yourself and the team. Like, I know there's so much in terms of support from the ecosystem, support from multinationals. It's just all about that resiliency and building that up in order to fail fast. And then finally, financial and data literacy, absolutely vital. Knowing your numbers, being able to defend your numbers, and really understanding that P&L at the bottom line, because that's what we all like. So just really getting that financial literacy isn't just for CFOs, but it's for every founder. With that, I want to say, Chuck Sagol to everyone. Thank you so much. If you want to connect, my name is Cliona Jordan on LinkedIn, or ClionaJ@google.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So it was Zor, as I know it's perfect in Azerbaijani language. And now our next speaker, he serves as a National Program Coordinator Manager at the European Bank of Reconstruction and Development, with a strong grounding in SMEs finance and development in Azerbaijan and also across the region. He has been instrumental in designing and implementing support frameworks for startup ecosystems and enterprise growth under the EBRD programs. So let's meet Samir Hamidov, who will talk about EBRD Start Venture, startups to support to startups. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I would like to thank Strategies, our long-term partner, for organizing this event. It's great to participate, and thank you for giving this opportunity for presenting our program. My name is Samir Hamidov. I work for EBRD, European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. Very briefly about EBRD, we have been in Azerbaijan for over 30 years. It's an international financial institution, and we have supported Azerbaijan with more than 4 billion euros worth of investments in projects ranging from strategic infrastructure projects down to financing production sites of SMEs. Our current portfolio is over 1 billion euros. And it's growing. So besides investments, today I want to talk about our support to SMEs, the section that I work for. Advice to Small Business is EBRD's program supporting SMEs, and we subsidize SMEs access to advisory services. We subsidize up to 90% of SMEs costs for advisory services, ranging from IT, digitization projects, marketing, organizational development, quality standards. This program has been running in Azerbaijan for over almost 30 years, and it's ongoing. So I want to use this opportunity to invite SMEs who are interested in advisory services to use this opportunity. And one of the often used services is digitization for SMEs projects, implementation of ERP systems, CRM systems, developing or improving their websites. Electronic platforms are important, so we do subsidize a lot of such projects. Using today's opportunity, I would like to talk about our programs focusing on development of startups. It's called Star Venture. Yes, so Star Venture is our program focusing on developing startups. If we can use the slides, it will make my life easier. Yes, so Star Venture is EBRD's program to support startups development. It's active in 26 markets. More than 750 startups so far have been benefiting from this Star Venture program. So what do we offer as part of Star Venture program? The accepted startups receive comprehensive business diagnostics implemented by University of Cambridge experts. Selected startups receive a limit of 50,000 euros to be spent on training, mentorship, and advisory services. And they select the mentors, they select the advisors, local or international, and they select local and international trainings that they want to participate. The advisory services again can range from all kinds of IT development, as well as marketing, organizational development services. And we fund 100% of these services up to 50,000 euros for each startup. Besides, during the Star Venture program, our startups get access to world-class mentors, and they get opportunities to pitch in front of in big events and demo days. They get to fundraise. Our specialists organize their participation in fundraising events. The valuation of our of startups in our portfolio is almost 4 billion euros, $4 billion, and they have more than 600 advisory projects have been implemented. And our startups have received more than $157 million in investment after participation in our program. In Azerbaijan, this program was activated in 2022. We selected three members to Azerbaijan cohort. In 2023, we selected 5. In 2024, we selected another 5. And in 2025, we are selecting 4 members of 2025 cohort. The 5, you can see the startups that we selected last year who are going through our program right now. These are Bompara, Hirpo, DMP, Miloy, Sprinto. If we invited them, I'm not sure if they are among yourselves. Here are some of the photos from the trainings and international events that our startups participated using EBRD funding. And most importantly, I would like to announce that a new cohort is open, and we are still accepting applications until 17th of November. And I have with me here our Star Venture coordinator, Linara Aliyeva, who is coordinating this program, which I believe is the unique and unprecedented program in Azerbaijan. And I would like to invite all startups who are in need of acceleration support to apply. And the eligibility criteria are very simple. Must qualify as an SME according to EU definition, and if you are below 50 million euros in turnover, you are considered as an SME. It can be in any sector. Latest official annual turnover has to be less than 1 million euros, and the business must operate in one of the EBRD countries of operation, but the majority ownership must belong to Azerbaijani national, and the startup must have less than 10 years of experience. And if you have any questions, myself and our Star Venture program coordinator will be around. If you have any questions, we would like to, we would be happy to respond. And again, invite you to apply to our Star Venture program. Thank you very much. Thank you, strategists, for this opportunity. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to introduce a distinguished panel of judges who will evaluate today's startup pitches. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the judges, Peck, founder and CEO of EndeavorXR, a globally recognized futurist and strategist in immersive technology. Amy advises Fortune 500 companies, governments, and startups, and was recently named as one of the top 50 most powerful women in tech. Second judge, Wang, co-founder and general partner at Outpost Capital and managing partner at Solaris Venture, a cross-border real estate investor focused on frontier tech, AI, XR, and spatial computing with strong experience across the US and Asia. Fabio Franca, founder and managing partner of Blueverse Ventures, an expert venture investor in the metaverse and Web3 space, founding partner at Blueverse, partner to the World Economic Forum. Masud Alisoy, investment associate at SABAH.fund. Masud plays an active role in evaluating and supporting early-stage startups through SABAH.fund, contributing local ecosystem insight and regional investor expertise. And Abdulla Al-Naimi, managing director at Doha Business Consulting, a Qatari investment professional with extensive experience in VC, assets, and management and startup growth across the Gulf region and internationally. And our sixth judge, Ilkay, Demirdag, co-founder and co-CEO of Energy Shift Capital, a seasoned energy tech investor and former private equity executive who now leads a firm dedicated to climate, tech, and systematic change through capital and innovation. Judges, thank you for your time, wisdom, and also expertise that you will share with the startups. And also, I want to tell the startups, get ready to pitch and shine on the stage. I will explain how this session will work. Each startup will have 3 minutes to present their ideas. After pitching, we will have a short Q&A session from judges. They can ask the questions, and then all the judges will have the feedback to our startuppers. Get ready, make the questions ready, dear judge. So our first startup for today is Invent, represented by Shafi Amiri, who is CEO of this startup. Please.
$100,000 is essentially what you need to invest in private markets, which is why we've built Invenex, where you can buy, sell, and manage alternatives and real estate portfolio with as low as $500. We've done 3 products. Our primary market allows you to invest as low as $500 in world-class opportunities. Our secondary market gives you a pathway to early liquidity in historically illiquid markets. And thirdly, UCIT is our treasury solution that provides you risk-free returns on your idle capital. Invenex provides access to diversified investment solution, whether that's a professionally managed fund or a direct real estate investment from around the world. Whether you're targeting capital gains, income generation, or both, we have the solution for you. We also have institutional services where you can manage your treasury or partake in our collateral trading network to maintain your daily liquidity needs. And that provides us a really straightforward business model across subscription, trading, platform, and onboarding fees. Now, security is a huge, is huge for us, and it's paramount, which is why we've created a bankruptcy remote structure that ring fences user funds and assets away from company funds. And this leads to a very seamless and a secure investment experience where you select an asset, you review the documentation, and then you confirm your transaction. So I'm Shafiq, founder of Invenex, and our team comes from Blackstone and BNP Paribas, where we have institutional capital experience and also operational experience building digital finance products for central banks and commercial banks. There are other companies in the market, and where we excel is the accessibility that we provide and our proprietary market-making solution that gives you on-demand liquidity, which is why Invenex is at the frontier of innovation in finance. We bridge traditional finance with decentralized finance, and it's really an integrated platform that improves the relationship between investors and asset issuers. Our roadmap covers what we have done today, which is focusing on our license, increasing our assets under management, and issuing our own debit card. As of 2 days ago, we reached 4.1 million in assets under management since our launch in June, and we started raising our pre-seed round. So I welcome everyone to experience a new way of investing, and I look forward to answering any questions you might have. Thank you.
Thank you, Shafiq. So now it's open the floor for the questions. Dear judges, please. You have them.
Thank you for that presentation. Can you talk a little bit about your customer and consumer, your investors, and is it the regulatory here that allows you to have these investments for unaccredited investors, and then what kind of education and protections are in place so that these investors who may be unsophisticated are protected?
As part of the investment journey that a user or investor takes, we provide clear disclaimers, whether that's risk from the underlying asset, our technology risks. There are ample amount of disclaimers that we provide our investors. As for the regulatory part, we operate with a model that I would say it's ask for forgiveness later than permission first. So we operate under legal operations where we structure everything as SPVs. This is nothing new. Of course, there are certain classification with accredited investors that we have to follow, but as much as we operate with the investors that we market to, everything is done through private fund SPVs, and that's marketed only towards private investors. Of course, we would expand this to mass market, and we are in the process of getting our license in AIFC, Astana International Financial Center.
Thanks for the presentation. I think it's definitely a very interesting company and very interesting opportunity. A little thoughts and also maybe a little bit feedback as well. So you mentioned about 3 different products, right? The crypto side, the secondaries, and also the primary. For each of the sectors, it's a huge market, right? And in your competition slides, you also mentioned about companies like Securitize and how you are offering this as a one-stop shop while they have a lot of limitations on their offerings and their features. My initial response to this kind of pitch is that this sounds. I think the vision is great, but at the same time, sounds a little bit greedy, right? Because each of the sector is a huge opportunity. While I understand that, hey, you want to offer a full stack solution to the customers, But then each of the sector, like crypto, is a huge market, right? And then from the crypto side, Securitize, for example, is already a multi-billion-dollar company. How are you going to gain your edge in that particular product category? How can you win over Securitize in the crypto market, for example, right? And what's your plan to win over the secondary market? What's your plan to kind of, disrupt the venture capital ecosystem and become a majority player in the primary market? I think those are very, very big questions. Even if you can crack just one single sector, you are already a multi-billion-dollar company, right? I think so. In your presentation, I understand you want to show like a full picture, the grand vision here. But I think on one hand, I don't hear what's a special taste that you have, the Securitize or your competitors do not have. If you have anything like that, try to highlight that. And also, I think, you want to show a little bit about the trajectory as well, right? Maybe like, let's say, hey, we want to focus on crypto first, right? And when we have reached to certain milestones on the crypto side, then you venture into the secondaries, or when you reach some kind of, milestones on the secondary market, then you get into the primary side. So that way, I think, it feels a more realistic path for you to achieve your grand vision as well. So, yeah.
100%. And what I'd like to add there is that we don't operate in the crypto side. We have a crypto layer, but that's the technology infrastructure layer. As far as the differentiation between Securitize and EndeavorXR goes, Securitize focuses on the US market, while we don't. Obviously, you're well aware of the SEC regulations on exempt offerings. So we do not have that resource to be regulated by the SEC. However, our secondary market is a built-in feature. It is not secondaries that we would buy of an asset. Rather, it facilitates the transaction between two participants in the secondary. The asset classes that we focus on are real estate, and then very real estate adjacent funds or debt products. I hope that clarifies a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. I agree with all that. Can you go back to the previous slides quickly? I just want to make sure. No, the valuation one, the last slide. No, the one after. And the one after that. Yeah. So I'm trying to understand the valuation. You have a valuation of 4.4. I mean, that's just a little bit more than assets under management. What's the multiple going on with an asset manager these days? I mean, it looks like it's a 1x, but it doesn't reconcile with what you said, this being an amazing platform. So if it's amazing, it should be more than 1x, I assume, unless the current going multiple is 0.8, which I doubt. So I think should rework your valuation here.
Yeah, 100%. Our valuation is based on de-risking for the investor. And part of the reason is that it is a nascent place, whether it's tokenization or how your colleague here believed that it is a crypto layer, right? So we are we've taken this valuation just to de-risk again for the investor, not to pump up the valuation matching our assets under management. Although based on our trajectory, we will be seeing assets under management rising to 10 million by the end of the month. But I believe at this point, this is a fair valuation that provides the value to our investors and ensures that we do not dilute as much.
Okay, thank you for the questions. Now I think it's time for feedback. Dear Amy, can you just make a short feedback, 1-2 minutes, and then we will go to the next startup.
Yeah, I think my colleagues and I think we've talked about the things that we want to understand a little bit more. I do think on this slide, when I look at 600K as a pre-seed, I would definitely want to see some kind of use of funds, and very much to Ryan's point, you're tackling 3 enormous markets, and where is 600K actually going to get you, right? Is there going to be a shortfall, and where your revenue stands today? I think it was a very, very good point too, to tell the story of, the primary, and that the secondary is within your asset group and your current investors, and then I would almost leave out the crypto piece. I don't know, you can chime in, because it's a boil of the ocean startup, and that becomes a challenge, especially with the economics that you're presenting here. So if you're going to present this broad picture, the economics here have to meet that somewhere. So you need to show that growth trajectory.
Okay, thank you, Direm, and thank you, Shafiq, for the great start of pitching. And now the second startup. Next we have Lilytopia, represented by Jamil Islamov, co-founder and creative and growth director. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. On behalf of Team Lilytopia, I will share how we are building global children entertainment brand, first in Azerbaijan, then move to region, then move to global, as suggested by Cliona as one of the strengths of the startups in this region. So, okay, I'm Jamil, this one, and this is Ulvi. We are co-founders and old friends. Our journey started 20 years ago as roommates while we were studying at METÜ, Turkey. Even then, we saw the gap between the education system we grew up with and what we were experiencing abroad. We realized that magic of effective education isn't about strict teachers, but it's about giving every learner freedom of access to great resources. And we adopted this vision, and we spent the last decade making this vision real, both in local and global. Ulvi founded Code Academy and revolutionized education in Azerbaijan, graduating over 11,000 students. I built ABC Planet, now YouTube's one of the largest alphabet teaching channels, with 500,000 subscribers and more than 500 million views. And my mobile game installs passed 50 million globally. And also we gained leadership experience in government and corporate, shaping what we built today. And today, we're bringing not only our media reach and expertise, but our 11 full-time members into building Lilytopia. Together, we are building what we wish we had when we were kids. The children learning world with cartoons, games, music, toys, books, and etc. And we started to create what we wish we had as kids. And we have unified ABC Planet's YouTube reach and anotherly our local apps already existing preschool user base under the Lilytopia brand. And we are going to, when we are going to global operations and local operations, they will give us asymmetrical power, asymmetrical media and user acquisition power. And we are by the way, this is the recent news, and our app is live on Google Play, and we are US incorporated which will enable us to expand globally easily. And when we talk about global markets, we are talking about global early childhood edtech market, which is 42 billion industry. And today we are raising 500K to complete building our products and prepare seed before expansion. And today you can join us into building Lilytopia, and your kid will learn and grow in a digital world you helped create. Either way, they're going to get benefit from Lilytopia resources as a subscriber, but today you can own a share of what's coming. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. Very quick question here for the ABC Planet that you mentioned, right? Is that your IP? Is that your channel?
Yes, it's my IP, fully owned by me. And
Right.
I started it with my wife. My wife voiced these characters. And right now it grows this enormous global reach. And it's actually the name of the alphabet teaching category. They say we are teaching alphabet in ABC Planet style.
Right. Got it.
It will be under Lilytopia brand. We are not changing the name because why should we?
Yeah.
It's already have audience.
And I guess a follow-up question on that is that you have a very successful IP, right? 500 subscribers on YouTube, it's capturing tractions. Why do you want to switch into a platform at this moment instead of scaling on the IP side?
Let me tell you, because I have published several games with my team, mobile games, and I saw the power of like gaming. Because this, when we talk about kids' life, like it's not only about YouTube cartoons. Like it is like different platforms for us, but for them, they are the same characters. They like, for example, quickly find out. For example, Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty is not just the cartoon for them. Like when they see the games, when they see the music by Hello Kitty albums, like it is the same for them. And I want to cover all the hobbies of kids, let's say, because I have kid, 6-year-old Maya, and I know that when she loves like something, she needs to get the other stuff from that cartoon character. So Lilytopia is covering all life, everyday moments of kids, let's say.
And it's just right. So sorry, last question. So for this platform you are building, is it only based on your IPs that you have created, or you are also working with some third-party IPs and bring them onto your platform as well?
For now, we are pioneers, and we are going to create like Lilytopia core app. Will have like, for now, it will have 7 modules like alphabet, numbers, and we are building everything in under this. And then first cartoon, like all the MVPs by these products, we will be creating by ourselves. But in future, we have that expansion. For example, we are going to make, in this region, no global actors wants to come. Like the reason is, this is a market with like real language, like this language is not even, whenever you do the Google search, I told Cliona that the power of our people is the ability of making Google search, making Googling in 4 languages. But this is necessity. This is how we survive, because we need to get access. Like this times LLMs helps us, but we need to do that. Because no global company like ABC Mouse or something like that don't do local products, because this language support is difficult. But we are from here and we can do it. And after, for example, ebooks and this region, when we do our ebooks, after a year, we are going to open it for the other people to publish their books as well. But someone needs to pioneer. This is us.
So, I mean, I think this is great, and I like the way you spent some time in the beginning, telling the story of you and your success, which is smart. I think that's good to have that up front. But what I'm missing is, first of all, how this relates. Again, as Ryan mentioned, the YouTube, and then your other 3 games. Are they educational games? The mobile apps that you already have in market. Mm-hmm. But then, what is the pedagogy of this new app, and what is the data that you're using to prove that your outcomes are better than other types of these learning games in this age group?
Cool. That's a great question. Actually, I think it started from my fear of raising kids. Okay, so I needed to make myself ready to become a dad. It took 7 years for me to finally understand that, okay, I'm ready. And in those 7 years, I built the resources with this ABC Planet. I told them, I taught how to, I started making content on how to teach alphabet for kids. Then I made some analysis, and I came up with the research methods like that helps kids learn the alphabet in the quickest way. This method, I don't know the name, but it is like one of the basic learning methodology of putting the objects to the matching shape. It's used on like, I don't know, primates like the apes, and the apes can also do that. Like this, I did that there, and then I built another app in Azerbaijan. It has more than 100K installs right now, and it's Azerbaijan's best rated kids app. And this is the way Azerbaijani people learn the alphabet. I know this method. And on numbers, or for example, we are using the researched methods. We are not inventing the method here, because although like I consider myself gamification expert, but I think that there are some methods that are already being researched, and we are limited by the technology. Right now, we can do gestures on the screen. We can't do, like, for example, we can't do holographic futures right now, but whatever is possible, it is already being researched and some like educational methods came up with. Now
Okay.
we are using those methods.
So it's more to also just, when you're going to have a limited amount of time to pitch, that story at the beginning and you and your friend on the sofa with the failures, it's good. But I think you need to get to the meat so that we understand as investors, where does this platform sit with these other two assets? And then, you're
Owner of these
no, but I mean, just this is not even a question. It's more just a comment. But otherwise, I think you've got a really good story to tell. I think you need to condense it and then really hit the high points.
Okay, thank you. Ryan, do you have any other comments or feedback?
Yeah.
No comments?
Quick
one
one.
comment or one question?
Quick
We have just
quick comment. God, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That presentation, the presentation before, they are way too busy. Like the slides are way too busy for this format. It's very short. So I know it's annoying to rework every time a presentation, but dilute to the essence the message. It should be helpful for us to understand it.
You mean like it's too complicated?
No, it's too busy. I understood, I think, most of it. It's too dense. There's too much information. Really,
Yeah.
It's an elevator pitch. So think a conversation with an investor in an elevator, in a lift, and then what is exactly the message? And that's for the previous presentation as well. Let's see the next one.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Jamal, please. You can continue the conversation after pitching also. Thank you. So next startup is Bionida, founded by Elwar Agmaliyev. Please welcome.
When I start, okay. Hello everyone, my name is Elwar Agmaliyev. I am the founder of the Bionida. Today, millions of the sellers in the worldwide, but only a fraction of them are truly digital. Every seller wanted to be in the online, but the journey feels impossible for them. That's not because their product isn't good, that's because the system and the process built for the tech experts, not for the everyday sellers. E-commerce has to be easy for everyone. That's why we built the Bionida. Bionida empowers 99% of the sellers who just want to sell online, not learn how to code, how to do something. No developers, no agencies, no friction, just pure growth. We have a main features in the Bionida, that's store customization, store management tools, AI automations, and marketing tools. We handling all problems, sellers' problems in the same platform. We have in the global. Platforms are too complex and too expensive to use. Our mission to make e-commerce easy to understand, easy to use, affordable, and all-in-one in same platform. Today's market is valuated around $4.2 trillion in the 2025, and today's online sellers spending around $100 up to $400 per month across multiple subscriptions. And we are positioning ourselves as a e-commerce growth OS. That's new layer between the storefront SaaS and AdTech. We are using the basically SaaS subscription model, and we are taking some commission from the transaction and AI add-ons and white label partner APIs. We launched in July 2025. Until now, even with the zero marketing spend, we generated 217 stores. And right now we are moving from the free model to freemium model, and also adding mobile support and full customization upgrade. You can see our team. We have a very passionate, young, and strong team. We are building Bionida. And also my co-founders Zakir and Rashid in here. We raised around $60,000 in 2024 angel investment. Right now we are looking for the $150,000 in the seed round. Our mission to make e-commerce easy, accessible, and profitable for everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now it's time for the questions.
Thank you. Same comments as the two previous presentations. There's way too much information. And I think if you go back one slide, I think that's your opening slide. You conclude with it, but I would open with it. And then the slide before that, the penultimate slide.
It's not.
So go to the last slide.
That's not working.
Yeah. Okay, don't worry. So what is your unfair advantage? I mean, it's very good. Congratulations on the traction and everything. E-commerce is a fiercely competitive space. What stood you apart? What is your moat, and how will you keep it once you go into marketing and once you go out there in the market?
Can I take question again, please? Because
What is your unfair advantage? Why it's a very, very competitive market, e-commerce. What made you succeed so far, and what will make you keep that success?
Okay, platforms are using different strategies. Our strategy is to putting all tools in the one platform. We are using a base store customization, image generation, advertising assistant in the same platform. We are connecting e-commerce with the ad tech in the same time, and also we are giving this affordable and easy to understand. Today's online sellers in the Azerbaijan, in the Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, this kind of regions, they don't know what's the online. They don't know Instagram, how to put the image and how to put the video. We are making easy e-commerce for them. And also we are connecting all tools in the one platform. That's in the affordable pricing. That's a good choice to use.
You know, I would be careful that you really just got to talk about Shopify, right? Like my son built a Shopify store in like 6th grade, and he was making like $6,000 a month. So it's like, you've got to talk about how you're easier than Shopify, you know, and what the economics are. And then, you know, where I didn't understand, and this isn't critical, I think you have something, right? But how are you going to reach all of these, you know, e-commerce sites and these shops, and then get them onboarded? Because if they're not online and they're not already visible, how are you going to reach them? I think you don't have to answer even now, but it's something to think about.
Okay, I can answer now. Right now we are in the Azerbaijan market, and we are our system is basically free. The seller can use their phone and create their store in 2 minutes. It's something like that. And right now we are making a free for everyone. We are making door-to-door sales and using social media to reaching them. After that, collecting all the information and all the data, we are using this to take the free model to freemium model. In the freemium model, we will adding many store customization and advertising functionalities to system. That's our strategy in the Azerbaijan. We are also using the affiliates for the other. I am the young. I have a power. I have an energy. I can work with the Bionida and make some commission from them. We are using this kind of affiliates also. Thank you.
Okay, any other question? One or last one? Okay, thank you. So next startup is EBRD. Thank you. Please welcome Murat İnsanov, CEO and co-founder. Please applause.
Hi everyone, it's Murat İnsanov, co-founder and CEO of EBRD platform. EBRD platform aims to make a smarter way to manage events in more proper way, mainly focusing on ticketing and registration part of the events. And when an event is going to happen, attendees, participants, organizers, and many stakeholders, stakeholders have some issues, and most of them are common. What we are providing as a solution is some services like pre-event, during event, and post-event sections. You can create registration forms, agenda setup, target audience setup, networking app, and this is the most competitive advantage that we are going to provide in our platform. Ticket scanning and validation, you will not use any other hardware product to scan it. You just have to download the app, and on Android and iOS you can scan app and take the validation and other analytics tools. So market opportunity for our platform service obtainable market is 20 million, and the targeted region is Azerbaijan and Caucasus. So there are some design issues because I made it with AI. So in our free plan, you can use this platform up to 250 attendees, registration, email ticketing, basic analytics, and priority support. After that, we will implement 5% charge for each ticket you sold. And there is tailored custom plan We set one price for one event, and you can do anything this platform you can. And here's the competitive advantage, some local and global competitors. And the best competitive advantage of us is networking app. If you have participated in Merge, you can use this networking app for other competitors. We will do it the same and with more functionality in our platform. So this is some metrics that we have done so far. We have done more than 250 events in local market. We have reached more than 1 million registration. And paid more. Right now, it's actually 500,000, and we have currently more than 30 active organizers. So this year, this is our forecast, and for now, we have done more than 75,000 revenue. This is a roadmap. We are providing some payment providers like Payreef, ePoint, and we are trying to increase them like international global payment platforms like PayPal and etc. We will launch our marketplace and networking app in the next year. So we are asking for $50,000 US. This is the some organizers that we work each year for different events. And here's our team. Our team is not so big. We are just 4 people, and that's it, I think. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Now it's time for the questions.
Salam Murad. Thank you for the deck, first of all. You are brutally honest with regards to how did you develop this deck, like using AI and so on. It's obviously understandable. I'm sure that it was a necessary thing to do. Apart from that, I want to point out a few questions with regards to your company and this space. I love this space. And the reason why I love this space is that I believe there needs to be a disruptor. Because as you would already know, and I'm sure audience knows that as well, there's a huge game tonight, which is Qarabağ and Chelsea. And just recently, iTicket crashed because of the scale. So the first question is obviously, are you ready to scale? And by that, I mean your product. Do you think your product is scalable in terms of getting thousands of users in one day or in a second, maybe even?
Yes, we have many requests from iTicket customers that they don't want to use any more iTicket because it's not open to you are not able to add any special features to iTicket, and you cannot use this service as your service. We provide organizer account, and you can do anything you want there. And this crashing and fees is high in iTicket, so we are ready to scale in Azerbaijan market and in Central Asia.
So you think you can be an alternative for an iTicket? Right?
Yes, definitely.
That's good. Let's talk about this later as well. And apart from that, I want to understand your ecosystem game too, because with regards to events marketplaces, the main play is always building an ecosystem around your marketplace. It generally applies to every industry, usually. And I'm sure you already are very well familiar with Ticketmaster and the ecosystem that they have developed. You might call that as a monopoly as well, but we will prefer, for obvious reason, calling it an ecosystem. So do you have any embedded solutions on top of this as well, at least in the future, like any fintech game or something else as well?
No, we don't have this kind of solution for that platform. One of the gap in our platform is marketplace, because everybody asks about it. For the next year, we will have it. Additionally, we will have networking app. So one of the main purpose of event is networking, but people somehow is ashamed or they don't enough time to meet everyone by one-on-one. So we will provide matchmaking in that networking app. You will find who you want to find at each event.
It's good that you have already mentioned the networking app as well. Are you familiar with Baku ID, the event that we always do every year?
Yeah. This year we provided our registration service for Baku ID.
Amazing. Let's try the networking app as well, and let's see if we can actually work together after this.
Okay.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Any more question? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Masud, for your feedback, and thank you for the presentation. Now, next, we welcome DMP, represented by Arif Khalaf. Please applaud him.
So hello everyone, my name is Arif Khalaf and I'm here representing DMP. It stands for Digital Material Purchasing, and we are in the field of procurement technology. So firstly, let me start with our vision. So at DMP, we believe that there is a vast amount of untapped value in procurement, which can be only unlocked with AI, automation, and analytics. So let me firstly introduce you to the problem itself. So imagine an oil and gas, energy, telecommunication company, and according to our stats, big energy companies, for example, have 2,000 of suppliers, that's one of our customers, just in the region they're operating in. In order to make their procurement process smooth, they have to integrate their SAP with a website of a supplier, so that their buyers can enter with their login password, create a shopping cart, and send it to their SAP. And doing 2,000 API integration is a big waste of time, resources, and much more. And it's actually impossible job to do. That's why currently they're doing it with only strategical suppliers with big amounts of purchases. So at DMP, we stand as a single integrator for all the procurement stakeholders, such as manufacturers, customers, and suppliers. And that's not only solving the API problem, there is a bigger problem hidden inside of it. So imagine in the first case, without DMP, you managed to do 2,000 API integrations. But there is still one problem remaining. And the problem is that the same item in customers database and in suppliers database can have different descriptions. And when in this case, I show here some MacBooks or Apples, and it's simple to understand. But when it comes to pumps, gaskets, and so on, it leads to so many wrong orders, wasted money, wasted time. And big, for example, energy enterprise can't afford to waste time because time equals money. So we call it an e-catalog. So basically at DMP, every item, as I shown here, has single description, manufacturer, attributes for every item. So everything that comes from suppliers or customers, it's going through our gate of AI, which is basically cleansing the data, going to the web, finding the actual 100% true information. So our e-catalog is a single source of truth for all stakeholders. And after doing it, as I said, that's the untapped value of procurement. So we have 4 modules starting from demand planning up to contracting, basically covering end-to-end procurement process using our e-catalog. Because the item starting from demand planning, that's when the engineer creates a demand. He says that the pump board is broken, we need to replace it. He sends it to sourcing to the buyers. Buyer already knows what item he's talking about because they're living these problems always currently. Then benchmarking and contracting. So let me talk a little about traction. So up today, we generated around $250,000 in revenue. We raised around $700K. We have 4 service contracts. Our biggest customer is BP in Azerbaijan, Georgia, and Turkey region. We currently, just yesterday, started participating in one of the tenders, and hopefully the number of contracts will increase soon. So here you can see our team. That's our board. These people who own the domain knowledge in procurement more than 20 years. People from startups. So we have both in startup and procurement domain knowledge. No. Thank you. And I forgot to mention, most important, we're raising 1.6 million on 15 million valuation.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you much. So first of all, your picture is not in the team. Why? So what do you do?
I'm in charge of business development and growth. I'm currently not in the presentation, but yeah, that's in.
You just mentioned you are raising 1.6 million, right?
Yes, I'm raising.
Against which valuation? 15?
15 million.
1.5. How did you get to that valuation?
That's a good question. Actually, the numbers you see are the current contracts and customers. They may be not enough for the valuation we're giving, but in this kind of tools, our life cycle of sales is around 6 months, and we're currently in talks with big amount of potential.
Let me cut to the question. Did you get that valuation from a third party, or you made it yourself?
We actually raised under this valuation.
Raised against this valuation?
Against this valuation.
Okay, so it was
private investor. That was an angel. But yes, we raised. Yes, so yes, that's not our.
So what you're doing is great. I'm not saying but why do you have to reinvent the wheel when it comes to the catalog? Why don't you use HS catalog, for instance?
Why don't we use what? Sorry?
HS catalog. It's a worldwide catalog for everything that has been shipped or will be shipped or has been shipped in the past.
Nice. We currently in our e-catalog we're planning to use this. Of course, all the third-party tools.
No, it's a simple. I'm talking about logistic businesses. Okay.
Yes.
So I invested in logistic business since more than 20 years. Okay. And one of the businesses that I invested in was doing that catalog. So this catalog is a worldwide document used by any custom officer worldwide. So it's called.
Is it used by manufacturers?
Say again?
Is it used by manufacturers?
Everybody. It's called HS catalog.
Okay.
It's produced actually by the American, let's say, custom office, and it's a worldwide document accepted everywhere. So if your stuff is posted over there, that means you can ship it.
There is still one problem remaining because the engineers inside the companies are using their own language to describe that.
So that's what I'm saying. So that for the shipping purposes, when they want to ship stuff cross-border, they use the HS catalog for that.
Oh, that's great, but we still have to match what's written in.
That's what I'm saying. Is that maybe you have to look into it, because there's always a challenge. Like we had that challenges even when talking, like calling our clients in the past, telling them that, for instance, we need the light, and then they find out there's a difference in the manufacture between light, bulb, string, whatever.
Yes.
So it's always, that's why I'm asking you, have you thought about looking into the HS catalog? That's one of the things. Raising 1.6 million, what you gonna use it for?
Part of this, actually, not all our modules are fully developed for now. So the contract module is finished, benchmarking module is finished. We're currently developing the demand planning module, and the tendering process of the sourcing module. So half of this money will be spent to our development, and another half will be spent to marketing, business development, hiring account managers.
That's all I wanted to use. So just for you and for the other gentlemen who produced that, you don't need more than 5 slides usually.
More than?
You need 5 slides to present yourself.
Okay.
One, you need to tell us about the problem, your solution, your team, and the business plan and the ask at the same time. Like again, what my friends over here said to everybody before you, there's too much information and it's too distracting because you're taking us into journey like a storytelling, and the counter keep counting again. You can be more prepared. What you have is interesting. I'm not saying no. At the same time, it could have been done much better. I know that you have something because you have good traction at the moment.
Oh, much.
And I would like to see a better presentation next time.
Thanks for the feedback. Thank you.
Please.
Well, thanks for the presentation, Arif. Have we met before?
Probably, yes.
A year ago?
In GITEX or...
Okay, we have met a year ago as well with DMP, I think.
I remember.
When did you join the team?
3 years ago.
Oh, 3 years ago.
I've been in the meeting with you.
Okay.
Yes, with you and Orhan, I think.
Yeah, exactly, yes. Just one final question from my side would be, I think, as far as I remember, and also from your deck, BP is among your customers, right? And you're generating almost 200K revenue. How much of your revenue is concentrated into BP?
Of this money?
Yes, like all of your revenue.
80%.
80%. Okay. So I remember it was quite similar percentage a year ago as well. Do you plan to Like
yes.
make your revenue sources more diversified, or?
Yes, of course. Of course, we plan, and we're currently in talks with. This one's not confidential. We're in talks with Rio Tinto in Mongolian office. We're also started talking with Qatar Energy and local oil and gas company. We currently participate in tenders. Unfortunately, this one's confidential. But yes, but as I said, our life cycle of sale is long, and it's taking time.
Well, good luck with the sales cycle.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. Thank you. And finally, we are close to end, and we have only one startup left. Please welcome Ali Aliyev, who is the founder of Bluehive.
So, hello everyone, my name is Ali, and this is our product, Bluehive. The communities are the backbone of the human history. So they are the leaders and leading to innovation and spark the progress. But they have some problems. The problem is the community managers use fragmented tools to manage their communities and gain insights from them. And from the member aspect, they have to look for qualified and verified events and communities in a distracted world. But at the end of the day, we need data, and we need a single source of place where you can get the data and make data-driven decisions about your community. So here, what our product does. For the managers, we give a dashboard for gaining insight, analytics, and conversion rate, and they can manage their own events, announcements, and the posts. And they can also leverage our AI-based notification system, smart notification system. For the members, we are offering a branded, simple, and bento-style page where they can use it as a single source of truth, and they can find all the events, posts, and the announcements related to that community. For everyone, we have an Exploring Hub, where you can just search for the community you want, or you just find a community that's related to your own taste. So the opportunity is huge. There are actively 5 million communities over the globe. And we are planning the business model as B2B SaaS subscription with a freemium core, with free pro and enterprise plans. And the market value for now is $1 million USD for the year on the global. And we are planning to release our MVP in 3 months with our pilot communities. And at the end of the year, we are planning to expand beyond the Azerbaijan market. So here is the competitor analysis. Maybe you know Circle, Luma, or other social media managers. What makes us different is we are more focused and simple than they are. So this is our team, which is built for this product. We have designers, we have product developers, we have software engineers, and we can also have marketing researching. And we are seeking for 10,000 manat of investing in the exchange of 15% equity stake. And we are going to use this money for expanding our team and working on the features from software side, the AI integration, and of course the marketing and advertising expenses. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Now it's time for the questions.
Thank you for the presentation. I want to understand a bit more your revenue model. I use Luma quite often. I do events myself as well. What is the, why would I use your platform? I didn't really get that. What is specific about yourself compared to the other platforms? And what is your revenue model?
So you are saying you're using Luma? Oh, okay. So the question actually related with the why. I mean, we offer the events managing, but this is just one of the values. So the Luma's why is creating and managing just events. Yeah, you can now create communities on them, but they're focusing on the just event managing. But what we are focusing here is a community itself. I mean, the communities just don't need events. They also need announcement. They also need maybe posts, and they also need engagement. So if you just let's say you just find a community, you will just look how this member is engaged with the community. It's the quality of these communities. So we help communities to build this qualified system. Okay, maybe you will have notification system in Luma as well, but we are planning to making AI-powered smart notification system. So let's say if you join a community, you will have you will get the change logs of that community, but in a smart style. So the big difference is just lie about the why. They're actually focused on the events part. We are focusing on the community part.
And what's your revenue model?
So this is our revenue model. So we charge for communities, and the joining is free for the members. And for the pro, and we have like premium core, and at the pro plan, we will give our magic for them, like advanced analytics, AI-powered smart notifications, and of course custom integrations with other tools.
Any other question or comment?
Yes, just one final comment. I'm sorry, what was Ali, thanks for the pitch. Can you show us the fundraising slide again, please? Yeah, this is quite common in emerging markets, especially in our region, Central Eurasia, among the founders, of course. 10K ASEAN in exchange of 15% equity might kill your next round, or you might lose control of your company in the next rounds. So please be careful about that with regards to how much equity stake you want to give. Usually at this stage, it's recommended to give, maximum 20% of your company at pre-seed, but obviously not in exchange of 10K ASEAN. It shouldn't even be 1%, ideally speaking. But again, with regards to technicality and so on, let's catch up after this pitch session as well. I will explain in detail why it might create lots of problems in future and even might create problems now. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
No more question? Okay, thank you. So we can conclude our pitch session. Thank you to our jury for the comments and feedback. Please big applause them. Thank you for the founders. And thank you, the audience, that you listened to us.